And then I think, after that season, we had another good team camp with SRAM in Pay in the south of France, and
Yeah.
that camp went really well. Yourself, Sam, the other riders were all, uh, you know, looking really good at that team camp and flying, and that we had a good time, and then everything got put on hold because of COVID. So that was a
Brutal.
that was a huge stepping stone in the team and the race calendar, and I think that time affected people very differently depending on who you were. And then we ended up, after a big pause, just me, yourself, and Ant. Keelan was injured. Sam decided not to bring over from Australia just for 3 races. Me, you, Stotty, and Ant went off to Switzerland for the one of 3 rounds in Zermatt, didn't we?
That was it. And what a time we had there. We went out a little bit early. We
Yeah,
went to Morjan, and we had two brand new bikes.
yeah. The new mega.
Um, that's it. We had the was it the 2021 Mega, was it, or something like that,
Yeah,
that was getting released at the end of the year.
was it the Mega V4,
Yeah,
the first full carbon bike, and then we had the prototype Giga that wasn't released then, but we were to
yeah,
an edit filming on that in Zermatt.
yeah. And like we had the wrong shocks and all sorts. Remember, we had like the wrong tune on the shocks because no one had really ridden them.
Yeah,
Like they just got built up and taken out there. We had the Zeb for the first time.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, that was mad. And I just remember jumping on the bike at Morjan, and obviously you've been sat in lockdown. I was still going to the gym, and like me and Brayton were riding quite a lot together. Because it was our job, and we had to. Well, I knew that at some point we'd be racing. So we. This is Lauren, by the way. Um, so yeah, we to keep training and just try and work to a date. And some people struggle not having a date to work towards, and it's one of them. You just have to stick in. So going into that race, we had new bike, and I jumped on it, and we're in Morjan, and it was like the speed we were going in Morjan was ridiculous. Like it was such a fast track, and I was like, it took me so long to get back into it. Um, you know, but yeah, we went into racing. I really like the new bike. I like the Mega and the Giga. So yeah, I was grateful that I got to race that, and I was enjoying it, and I thought it was a really good bike. And just riding for a week with your mates, in the sun, and feel like you're getting faster and getting more comfortable on the new bike and stuff. And I'm like, right, okay. I'd changed my training up massively from 2019, so I was feeling good. I was probably in some of the best shape I've been in, so I was confident. I was confident. I felt like no one was training. People are training really hard, and I'd always push myself so hard. Like I was throwing up every week, which people might see as a bit too much, but if anyone's ever raced an EWS or an EDR, you get to the end of the stage, you cough in your ring up, you feel like you're going to be sick. So if you can train like that and be comfortable in that red zone all the time, and you're not getting ill all the time, and it's maintainable, then why not? So I felt good, and we went into that race, and I thought Ant Hale might beat me the way he was talking.
yeah.
I got so much stick that week.
Well, it's always good to have a bit of friendly competitiveness from your mates to make.
Absolutely.
And and then that race nearly didn't happen because of the weather, and we ended up just
Mm.
doing 2 stages. It was snowing for the second stage, and but yeah, went pretty good. I think were you third on the first stage?
Yeah, I think I was third on the first stage, and then I was like 12th on the second stage. And the second stage was like the first stage was like my cup of tea.
Yeah,
Like wet, like quite tight, rocky, rooty, muddy. It was so muddy, weren't it? I remember I'd never raced in a base layer, and I got arm pumped so bad. But I was just, I guess I was used to having arm pump from back in the days. So, you know, it was just one of them, and yeah, absolutely mad to like get. Well, for me, it was huge because there's still quite a few big names there. Obviously, Sam didn't make the trip over, but the
Yeah,
top dudes were still there. And to be competitive and close, I was like, right, you know, I'm back. This is where I should be, kind of thing. Um, so yeah, absolutely brilliant. And then the second stage didn't go as well, but it was a bit more of a pedally, bike parky. I thought it was a bit more of like a roulette with what route you picked on the grass at the top in the snow and stuff. And we raced from like a little bit further down from the top. I had some before the first stage. I had some fella arguing with Rory Cunningham, trying to walk down the track. Some fella that lived there. So obviously, you know, Rory had his time off the bike, and he was massive now. You know, he's built. He's been going to the gym, so he just kind of shouldered him out the way a little bit, and I set off in the race run. I just remember giggling around the first two turns, wondering what was happening at the top of the track behind me. But yeah, absolute madness. So that race went pretty well. Like, yeah, I think I was seventh or something like that.
so
Which was, you know, exactly what I needed. Again, you know, a lot of people was like, you know, saying, you know, it's COVID year, it doesn't really count and all this stuff. But for me, it was like a massive confidence builder. Yeah, it was huge. So yeah, I had a great time in Zermatt that year, and what a place that is. If no one's ever been to Zermatt, I'd recommend you just go once and just experience it. It's like a different world.
it's good time. And then obviously we were due to go home then, but because they changed the stupid rules where you couldn't go home and all that stupid, which now
Yeah, quarantine was like 2 weeks long and stuff like that, weren't it?
what a waste of time. But anyway, we ended up going out to Hotel International and basically being
Yeah, we did.
what for about 4 or 5 weeks. Um,
Yeah,
had some good times on the mopeds, me, you, and Ant.
did we? Oh, so good.
And Super Mario.
I
Um,
know. Ant reckoned he was Billy Bolt.
and to be fair, would do
He's
quite well.
not far off.
Yeah,
He's not far off.
I'm pretty amazed Ant's still alive. The risk he was taken on the moped, um, between buses when we did it. Was it my idea to ride to San Romolo? Um,
From finale, I think so, yeah, because me and Ant didn't even know where it was.
so that was
Um,
which was pretty stupid.
Down the coast roads, absolutely flat out.
Yeah,
Oh, it was brilliant.
you two were on the higher bikes, which I managed to get, and I was on flipping Patricia's uh,
Borrowed windscreen mobile.
the windscreen. So when the sunlight hit the windscreen, I couldn't see a thing.
The
Uh,
windscreen was like a typical church window, like a stained glass window shape, weren't it? It was so tall. Oh god, it was absolute. So you ended up modifying it and taking it off in the end.
I had to take the windscreen off for the big trip to San Romolo, and then also, I was a bit conscious that I'd borrowed this off our friends, and I shouldn't be trying to do a big enduro like you and Ant were doing with your mopeds. So I had to be a bit sensible there, and then
But
I
you
thought,
bought a nice custom helmet though, didn't you, from the petrol station?
why would you not buy a helmet from the petrol station? And with a visor, and then yeah, cruising along, minding my own business, and your butty box flew off the back and came
Oh,
like that turtle on flipping
Mario Kart.
car.
Oh
Then I
god.
got a bit excited and hit that jump on the roundabout. I think I actually died laughing.
Forgot about the jump on the roundabout. Oh, so there's a roundabout and we went round it. And Nigel just comes in and just goes, and as he went up it, it's like slightly at an angle like this. So his back wheel like slid out and left a big skid mark up the roundabout. Oh my god.
I nearly needed me petrol station.
Oh god, that was absolutely brilliant. Oh dear, but yeah, we ended up going to San Romolo. We went to this place where you thought we could get pasta or something, and it didn't open for about 2 hours. So we just sat there, and there was this donkey, and we were just finding things to feed the donkey and the pigs. Do
Donkey
you
and
remember in the
yeah,
and Ant was doing these Axel Hodges, weren't he, off the speed bump or something like that?
yeah, yeah.
I've still got pictures of it. Oh God, what a time that was! That
Good.
was brilliant.
And then anyway, then we only had two more races that year. So after the first one was in Petson, which is just down the road. Um, so that one went okay, didn't it? How did you finish up in that one?
Was it? Oh, it's Pietro, weren't it? Sorry.
Sorry, Petson, Pietra.
Yeah.
Pietra.
Yeah, Pietro went okay as far as I can remember. Yeah, I think it went all right. I think I was like just outside the top 10 maybe, so not as good.
Oh.
I can't really remember to be honest.
Yeah, it
Went
was.
a lot better than Finale did.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was all right. And then obviously, then the back to back the week after the third round of the 3 rounds series that year was in Finale, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
I was racing in the Masters, and I flipping snapped my chain and wrapped it round my back wheel. So I came back to the pits early, not forgetting Robbo. Nearly forgot about Robbo.
He can't get away with not getting a mention.
Robbo came out, didn't he, for the trip? He did. Did he do Pets and Finale or just Finale?
Yeah, no, he did Pietro and Finale because it was Pietro where he died in practice, remember?
Yeah, with his
And we
one
were looking for the green door.
green door saved our lives. Uh,
Oh God. Aunt
and
Hale will tell you I saved his life at that race.
yeah, and then yeah, because Robbo, I think Adrian Day won that race, didn't he? And we're all having dinner in the square after, and it was pretty
Yeah.
chilled on their table. Like there was no celebrating going on
No, no, no.
like us with the limoncello. But Robbo, I've never seen anyone as happy because he got on Vital Raw, wasn't it, with his crash and his
Absolutely massive crash. His legs just flew over his head on his reactor. And honest to God, it just looked like a cartoon, didn't it? Just flat out down off the track, completely the wrong way.
yeah.
And he just hit a fallen tree, I think it was, something like that. And he just went yeet and just straight over the handlebars. And he was buzzing.
So
Like
happy.
everyone was sharing it on social media. Like, it was absolutely, whoever, I think, was it Adrian, like you say, won the race? Nothing on social media. Low Robbo everywhere, plastered.
I think that put the firm on the map.
Oh, it did firmly on the map.
Uh,
But yeah,
and then obviously the week the one after the last one for that season was in Finale, and yeah, as I say, I blew my bike up, so I rolled back down to the pits knowing we were gonna be leaving that day. And tell us what happened to you.
I can't remember what stage it was. I don't know if it was the first or the second stage, but I remember my chain came off and it got wrapped around my pedal.
Mhm.
So for whatever reason, and I remember I came out of a corner, went to pedal, and my cassette went into my wheel. My chain twisted, and I twisted about. It was a ridiculous amount of chain. It was like maybe 9 or 10 links of chain was completely twisted. So I was like looking at it, trying to work out if I could do something with it. My jockey wheel had snapped. So I was like, how am I going to make this work? I was at the bottom of the track. Everyone's just riding past looking at me. Have you got everything you need? I was like, well, unless you've got a mech, mate, no. So I was like, you know what, sod it. It's the last race of the season. So I just ran, and I just ran the liaison up to the next stage. And I made it on time, did that stage. And then I had to do another one, I think, running. Or I think I had to run maybe 10Ks back to the pits on the flat.
Same.
And in clip shoes, my feet were slapping, making the most ridiculous noise. I'm just running, pushing my bike. And I think Florian Nicolai helped me, and maybe Damien Otton and a couple of other dudes helped me out. And like push me on some of the bits where it was flat. But obviously, you know, they don't want to get tired either. But you know, so I was just grateful for the help and made it back to the pits. And it was Alexi from Mavic that was mechanicking for us at that race, and he put me a new mech on, and I needed a new chain ring and chain. Oh, it was a disaster. And went up for the last two stages, and I had nothing. My legs were absolutely written off. So I just went into survival mode basically, and just got round and didn't cramp unlike some people. Little Robbo to be mentioned.
And Robbo rang me up and said, "Was it okay if you didn't race?" Like I was his mum or something.
Oh, poor bugger! Like that was brutal, and it was so hot. It was so hot. But yeah, and then I remember getting back. We got back to the pits. The van was already loaded, and we literally just chucked the bikes in. And me and Nigel were awake for about 18 hours, if not longer. And the only time, like, if you're ever on the Nuke Proof or Chain Reaction team, you knew on the way home, the only time you were allowed to have a piss or eat was when we were at a petrol station. Like that was it. We weren't stopping at any auto grills. Nigel was running on High Five Extreme and whatever wild flavour of crisps he could find in the petrol station. And Tomorrowland. But we made it every single time. And we didn't stop.
I think that was the hardest drive I've ever done. Yeah.
Wasn't it Maya's birthday or something like that?
21st the next day. No, 18th, 20th. So
we were rushing
for that.
And my 18th.
It was 18th, wasn't it? So yeah, I remember well, I'd done the morning race, so I started off at the crack of dawn. So I'd then I was packing the van. Then we went and paid for the hotel and stuff, which was about 45 grand because we stayed there for 6 months. And then
just living off ham and cheese toasties from the Fly Snack Bar and Coca.
And then we went to went to the Fly Snack Bar, got a burger and chips and stuff. Then we said our goodbyes to them, and then we set off. I think we got to the Mont Blanc tunnel about midnight, didn't we? And we were nearly out of juice, and we couldn't find a petrol station, so we did about 14.
God, that was horrific.
Yeah, and then I just remember, I don't know how we got there, but we got to the tunnel about 5:30 in the morning or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And I had like about 5 minutes kip in the tunnel, and then cracked on again, and then I think every single motorway was closed on the.
That was ridiculous. We ended up going around Stoke-on-Trent and everything. It was ridiculous.
Anyway,
oh God,
made it back for Maya's birthday, didn't we, Maya? So yeah, good times. Weird year, but we had a good time there.